What's good, everybody? I appreciate you checking in. All right, our Raiders have brought in some help. They have signed a former first-round draft pick, and we're going to break this down. All right, obviously we've had some injuries in the defensive end position, and we've actually brought in some reinforcements, and so we're going to break this thing down. But before I get into it, if you can, hit that like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. My next giveaway is at 4,000 subscribers. If you want to be included in that giveaway as well as all my future giveaways, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know when I drop more content and so you know when that giveaway does go down. And so let's jump into it. The Raiders signed a former first rounder just earlier today. There's been reports all over the place. Basically, sources say Raiders signed edge rusher, former first-round pick, K'Lavon Chason. The Jaguars' 20th overall pick in 2020, three-year starter, first-team All-SEC at LSU, 13 tackles, 2 sacks in 17 games last season, 72 tackles, 5 sacks over 4 seasons with the Jaguars. And then after basically, the Jaguars didn't pick up his fifth-year option, so he became a free agent in 2024, and the Panthers did pick him up. And just last week, they basically ended up cutting him. Obviously, with the injuries to Malcolm Kuntz being placed on IR and Tyree Wilson, yesterday, Antonio Pierce addressed the media, and he said that Tom Telesco was on the phone trying to basically make moves, knowing that we need to revamp our depth a little bit on this roster. We're going to go into our depth chart and really break this thing down and just see where does K'Lavon Chason really fit and is he really going to be a dynamic piece to this defense, considering the fact that he is a former first rounder. And now, obviously, he was with the Jags, and the Jags picked him up as a first-round draft pick with high expectations, and that just didn't pan out at all. Now, he is a tall, lengthy, athletic edge rusher. He's about 6'5", 255 pounds, I believe. And so he can, and when he was with LSU, obviously he showed he could get to the quarterback. Now, a lot of that didn't translate over to the NFL. And sometimes, look, one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is coaching. Coaching plays a huge role in the success of some of these athletes. I mean, you look at Jack Jones, right? Jack Jones really didn't pan out with the Patriots, and sometimes it's just coaching. He comes over here and he thrives. Sometimes a different scenery, but more importantly, sometimes the coaching is what can play a huge role in whether or not a player finds success at the next level. And so I'm excited just to kind of see how he can play a role in this defense, because it's definitely a low risk, high reward type of signing. And so let's kind of dive into the depth chart and see, where does he play in this? Does he have a chance at getting playing time this upcoming week against the Baltimore Ravens? And so let's take a look at this depth chart. And so I got the depth chart up there. We'll scroll on down to our defense, and you obviously see you got Max Crosby, Janarius Robinson, Tyree Wilson. He is now injured. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He obviously left last week's game. He went into halftime but didn't return onto the field, so we don't know what his status is for this upcoming game. We have Charles Snowden. We brought him on. He didn't make this initial 53-man roster, but we brought him, we elevated him to the active roster in time for this game because of Malcolm Kuntz and what happened with having to put him on IR. And so now you got Max Crosby on one side, Janarius Robinson, and Charles Snowden actually started the game last week, which is very surprising. But that now leaves us with K'Lavon Chason. K'Lavon Chason now is going to play a role somewhere in this rotation. Let me know in the comment section down below, based on this depth chart, do you think K'Lavon Chason is going to get substantial playing time in this upcoming game? Because as it stands right now, we have very, very thin depth sitting behind Max Crosby and Janarius Robinson. One guy that you might see come off the edge a little bit just because he had experience and this is just emergency situation, to be honest with you. We might see a guy like Amari Gaynor kind of just stand up off the edge and come off the edge, because that's what he played in his senior year, his last year in college at the University of North Carolina. And so Now, mind you, because of how Divine Diablo played last week, and I think he is a liability on this defense, there might be a chance that Amari Gainer is going to fight his way into potentially seeing some playing time as a linebacker this coming week when we face the Baltimore Ravens. And so, but we are very thin at this defensive end spot. So we might find K'Lavon Chason really getting some playing time. Now, here's a question. Where's K'Lavon Chason going to possibly help us? I just had the depth chart up. Obviously, you got Max Crosby, you got Janarius Robinson, and Charles Snowden. Now, both Janarius Robinson and Charles Snowden, yes, they can kind of get after the quarterback a little bit, but I think they're more the strongest part of their game is kind of in the run stopping ability. Charles Snowden, Janarius Robinson, they're not dynamic edge rushers. So I think, in my opinion, that's kind of where K'Lavon Chason can really help us because he is that 6'5", 255-pounder. Again, at LSU, he showed he can get after that quarterback. One of the things, and I just mentioned it, Rob Leonard has done a great job of developing Malcolm Kuntz into a really premier pass rusher. And so, I think with just obviously it's very limited time, we're just bringing him on to the squad. I think where K'Lavon Chason can help us is possibly in that third down situation because you got to remember, we're going against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of, if not the best dual threat quarterback in the league. We're going to need some athleticism, some speed to kind of chase Lamar Jackson around and kind of keep him contained in the pocket and help kind of this D-line pursue the pass rusher in certain situations. That's why, again, we might see flashes of Amari Gainer kind of sitting off that edge, coming off that edge, because he is one of those more athletic linebackers, big enough to play off the edge. And in those third and long situations, those passing type downs, we might see a guy like Amari Gainer, but also K'Lavon Chason help us come in pass rushing situations to come off that edge. And so, again, let me know in the comment section down below. Now that we've signed K'Lavon Chason and our depth is very thin, do you think we should bring in another edge rusher, somebody else to help with this depth in on this defensive line? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. Want to jump on here and just kind of hit you with this news. We officially signed K'Lavon Chason to the 53-man roster. I appreciate you. Again, hit that like button, subscribe, turn those notifications. My next giveaway is at 4,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button if you want to be included. So I appreciate you. I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm out.